Hi everyone, I'm the PC Expert Amateur, and this is about Micro Center. So I want to give you some tips and tell you a little bit about my experience with shopping at Micro Center. I've been there for 2 Black Fridays now. I go to the one in Sharonville on the outskirts of Cincinnati, and I've also been there several times otherwise, usually for hunting for good deals on open box items. So the first tip that I want to give you is go there and look at the open box items. They are spread around the whole store. You're going to have a hard time locating them, all because, well, they usually keep them in the same place. But if you're not familiar with where those places are, all you got to do is look for where you see items that have yellow stickers on them. If it's got an orange sticker, that means that the price has been dropped. But if it's a yellow sticker, it's an open box. And that can be a good way to get some nice surprise deals. What should you do beforehand? Well, you can do some research and figure out approximately what you want and hope you see what you're looking for. Or you can just go there and be surprised and just pick up things you're like, oh, I forgot that I needed this, and that kind of thing. And they have more than just computer stuff. They have do-it-yourself stuff. They have games and office supplies, although those areas are not nearly as big. Puzzles, all kinds of stuff in one section, at least the one that I go to. So, but yeah, open box is a great idea. Now there is a caveat to buying open box. It's kind of a 2-in-1. Sometimes the people who are returning the item have stolen something out of the box, and the people accepting the returns did not notice. And sometimes, while that open box is sitting in the open box area that it belongs to, and sometimes it doesn't belong to, somebody will steal something out of it. So always make sure that you check and that everything is in there. It's very frustrating to buy something, get home, and then realize it's missing this, that, or the other thing. So always check. Always. Okay. The next thing you need to understand is the sales associates are there to earn money, and they get a commission. So in order to get the best deal, you have to do a few things. One, you have to make sure that you have researched ahead of time and know what you're going to get if you're going to be dealing with a sales associate. Sales associates, once they've found out that you're going to buy something, if it's a small item, they will put a sticker on it with their information and take it to the front desk where you can get it when you are going to purchase, or actually somebody will get it to your cashier. So you don't steal it. If it's a larger item that presumably you can't hide, then they will put a sticker on it and you carry it around in your cart or whatever until you get to checkout. But you need to know what you want to buy, because if you don't, they're probably going to upsell you. They're probably going to try to point out something that's more expensive to increase their commission. And so if you're not prepared, if you haven't looked at the website and chosen what you want based on what's available and how well it ranks and so on and so forth, yeah, you're rolling the dice. You may end up paying more money than you would have otherwise. However, there is a way to mitigate that, at least somewhat. Now, I have to admit that last year during Black Friday, I saved a lot more money than this year. It seems like Micro Center worked very hard to minimize any price matching, because if you show them where you can get the same product but cheaper, online or off, they will give you that price. They will price match it, which is great. On the items that I bought this time, a CPU, a motherboard, RAM, some cases that were mostly open box, and a fan. The only thing that I got a discounted price on was the memory. last year I got a few discounts by price matching. Now you can't use eBay because eBay is a very, I guess you could say, volatile place, and it's not a regular retail shop. They are competing with other retailers, not with eBay sellers. So, but you can potentially, especially when it's not during a sales period, you can potentially save yourself a lot of money if you're not going during Black Friday. And I've gone there several times when it wasn't Black Friday. So that will mostly benefit you outside of sales periods, but it can also benefit you during sales periods, even Black Friday and Cyber Monday and Cyber Week, really. Now, like some vendors on and offline, the whole Black Friday sales concept is extended for a longer period than that. How long they'll have it each time depends on them. You have to ask, and you probably need to talk to a manager to find out. Otherwise, you may get there when everybody is there on Black Friday and discover you could have waited until Cyber Monday and gotten the same deal, or not. So that is most of what I wanted to say. But, again, I wanted to point out that they were much more competitive this year during Black Friday than last year, at least for the items I bought. Last year I also did buy computer parts similar to what I just described, including graphics card and some other stuff, CPU, motherboard, RAM, graphics card, and a few other items. I got more price matches that time. But I also got some good deals that were below what I was seeing online. Like I got a Razer Chroma case, and it was cheaper than online. So I think they're really trying to be competitive, and especially with cases. If you look at the open box ones, be very careful. In fact, anything that is marked open box, don't believe the stickers if it says incomplete or complete. I've looked at stuff that says it's complete and it's not. I've looked at stuff that's marked incomplete and it was, including cases. I looked at a couple of Leon Lee Landcool 216s, I think it was, or 207s, and the one that was marked complete was not, and the one that was marked incomplete was. So yeah, but be very careful. Don't take the word of the salesperson. Their goal is to get money, and if they stay with you too long, they're losing money because you're probably not going to buy a lot of stuff. And in that regard, I was looking at one of the cases that was open boxed, and she thought she had seen the package of accessories. Nope, it wasn't actually there. And there were two other things that were missing from the case, a hard drive tray and an air filter. The air filter is no big deal, but the hard drive tray is a little bit of a pain to replace. So also, if you're going to go there during the whole Black Friday deal thing, I will tell you this. The later you get there, the longer the line to check out is going to be. Now, if you can do all of your purchases on the internet, I don't know if they allow price matching on the internet or if it's only in person, but if you can do it on the internet and then just pick it up, the line is much, much, much shorter. I spent like 4.5 hours there, and when I got done, it was going down one aisle, wrapping around a couple of aisles, and then going back, and then going around and around. And it did take a while to get through it, but the line they had, I think, about 7 cashiers. So the line was moving at a pretty good clip. So it wasn't like I had to wait a huge amount of time. But, I don't want to leave you with the impression that the sales agents weren't nice or that I didn't get some good advice. But do keep in mind that each person in there has their own specialties, their own things that they know about more. And during normal days of buying things there, you're more likely to be able to be directed to somebody who knows a lot about the thing that you're looking for. However, during Black Friday, they're going to just throw you with whoever is available. And that person may not know a lot about what you're doing or what you're looking for. I mean, like the person, very nice person who I've worked with in the past, very helpful, but she was not actually well versed in what I was asking about. Granted, what I was asking about, I did not come prepared with any information, and it was a complex thing that I had decided last minute to do, and so she struggled with it because she didn't have a broad enough base of knowledge. But a lot of salespeople are not going to have that broad of a knowledge base. So, I don't really blame her. But if you go there on a non-sales day, you're going to get better help than during big sales. So that's something to keep in mind, especially if you're going to price match. You can probably get good deals, not as good as Black Friday, but still very good deals. And so would you get better deals at a smaller store or at a Best Buy or a Walmart or something like that? Smaller stores, probably not. They struggle. Okay, I'm not going to lie, they struggle. It's hard these days. It's not like a gold mine like it used to be days and days ago. If you don't have the right strategy of balancing inventory with everything else, it's going to be very, very hard. Best Buy, Walmart, you might get better deals than Micro Center. It's kind of like hit or miss. Again, you want to do your research ahead of time. So, do I like going to Micro Center? Yeah, I like going to Micro Center, especially because I can price match and try to get a better deal, and I'm not going to have to wait a long time to get the parts. Whereas sometimes parts coming from, especially China, where most things are made these days, can take days, weeks, and sometimes not arrive, and then you're frustrated and you cancel your order. That's happened to me a couple of times. But overall, it's a good option, especially if you prepare ahead of time. You look at open box items by opening the box and make sure that it's complete. If it's not complete and it's marked complete, show them and say, hey, it's not complete. Can you give me a further discount if you want it? But be careful. You might end up with something unusable if it's missing a critical part or parts. Yeah. But again, you might find a really good deal. I've gotten some really good deals buying open box, and I've been skunked too because I forgot to check. So, yeah. The only other thing I want to say is that as far as selection, for some things they've got a pretty good selection, but you gotta keep in mind that for computer stuff the selection is massive, and you'd have to have a store a million, well, not a million, maybe a mile wide each way, each direction, in order to try to have most products. But you might have to have 2 floors because there are so many cases out there. There are so many companies selling cases that are the same. And some cases are not really worth selling. I mean, yeah. Also, if you're just going to buy a regular computer for doing things that are simple, like working in Microsoft Office, writing email, watching videos, you don't need the latest and greatest. If you buy a used, refurbished business computer, that is more than adequate for what you want to do. If you buy an i3 Intel processor, or you get the Ryzen 3 processor from AMD, and you get like 8 gigabytes of RAM, Windows 11 is going to choke on the RAM amount, but you can, if you bump it up to 16, that should be enough. And you can just get the bare bones. You do not need anything special to do simple things like that. In fact, get a Chromebook, especially if somebody who's going to use it is not good with computers. Get something simple like a Chromebook. Not that I like a Chromebook personally, but it's definitely an option that will save some money sometimes. All right, that is it. MicroStar is definitely a good place to visit, especially if you're having trouble ordering online. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.
I'm sorry to do this, but I need to ask for your help. Because Amazon and Sedgwick won't take responsibility for the injury I sustained at work, that is going to cause me to have my shoulder replaced on November 29th of 2024. I'm going to be off of work for 3 to 4 months, and the pay that I'll be getting from Amazon during that time, because Sedgwick will not pay me anything, will be after taxes and benefits, probably somewhere in the area of $10, maybe $12, something like that, per hour of a 40-hour week. And so that's going to be very financially troublesome for me, to put it mildly. I mean, just my rent alone is like $1,150, and then there are all the other expenses. I do have some help, but I do appreciate it if anybody is willing to help. You can join my channel, Glenn's Fast Reviews, or you can go to patreon.com/GlennMII and become a member there. If you can't safely do that, please don't, though. I don't want anybody financially getting into trouble with trying to help me. That would just that would make me feel really, really bad, as if somehow I was responsible for the choice you made, even though it was your choice. So if you can't, that's okay. It's okay. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Hope you have a great day.